All right, I believe we are on.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Long time no see.
I know we've had a little hiatus.
Yeah, it started off with me being sick. I got sick for a while and then I'm
The
all better
holiday.
now.
Yes, we've had a Thanksgiving and
Hmm. How was yours? Was it all right?
leaf management. Yes,
Oh, okay.
leaf management and decluttering a closet. So I would say it
Oh,
was productive.
yeah, that sounds good. I actually did something very similar. I cleaned out my place so that I can make room in the garage. So,
It
um,
just seems like there was a lot of Mars energy, which
mhm.
sort of was like that initiate, take action, get things done, feel a little more energetic.
Right. No, I really did. I was cleaning and throwing stuff away. I'm like, I don't need this anymore. I'm not holding on to it.
It's a good
Um,
feeling.
yeah, it was. So, okay. So, before we get started, I would like to ring the meditation singing bell to clear a space and energy, and then we can get on with the show. All right.
All right.
All right. So, I don't know where to begin or where to start. So, do you want to go ahead and take the lead?
Yes, yes. So we are on the other side of the Gemini new moon that, let's see, it was on November 27th. And I believe it was 4 degrees of Gemini. So that was on Monday. We're on Friday. So, full, did I say new moon? I meant full moon. So full moon in Gemini, and that generally has about a 2 week influence. And I don't know about anybody else and where they were, but I tell you what, that moon in the sky where I am was gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
Gigantic.
Yeah, it looked big on my end too.
It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini is an air mutable energy, so it's very fickle, it's very quick, it's ruled by Mercury. So lots of communication, lots of gossip, lots of information to sort through. Um, it's represented by the twins. And the twins, that is, let's see, what was it? Pollux and who was the other twin in mythology? Um, Castro. So they were brothers who, and bear with me because I'm digging way back into my memory bank here, may not be the perfect tale, but generally the gist of it was in the end, um, a brother gave up their mortality to save the other brother. So the twins have this bond, and it's a seeking. There's always this seeking the lost twin. So heavy Gemini energy is that almost a cyclical seeking. I'm seeking, I'm seeking. And that makes it a very curious energy. It makes it investigative. It makes it um, changeable, right? So you might think that, say, a really plain kind of example would be a police investigation of a crime. And, they just are certain that they're on the right track and have it figured out. And then, bam, they're in another direction. And that's very Gemini, is you sort of follow these trails of information, and have to use your discernment to know what is real and what is passing. Because air mutable is a very hard to pin down kind of energy. Gemini people can have a propensity towards bisexuality. They uh, have a hard time with commitment. My two brothers, I had two brothers 18 months apart. They were both Gemini. One was the end of May, one was the first week of June. Growing up, they were very, very close. And just like that bond of two brothers, they did everything together. And as they grew into adulthood and went in different directions, they became very opposite. You know, one was pretty much straight laced, one was, you know, drugs and alcohol, and they ultimately were estranged. So I say this because that Gemini energy, when I say changeable, it's very chameleon like. So that Gemini people can assimilate with whatever is their environment. In the case of my two brothers who were Gemini, it had to do with the women that they hooked up with influenced them. The one that went off into drugs and alcohol got involved with a big, you know, drug and alcohol drinking family, and that completely estranged him from his, you know, family unit. So um, what I would say is to go slow and discern any information that you're, you know, where I work, there's been a lot of gossip flying around about different ones here and there retiring or leaving or not. And you just have to take it with a grain of salt that you really don't know during these energies what is real and what is not. It rules the, and so that lesson that we learned from this energy is to be flexible. It teaches us that we're adaptable, that, okay, so, you know, those two detectives going down that trail thinking their job was almost over, and then being something new, information comes up and they're on another trail. That type of adaptability, able to change direction and not skip a beat. That's the lesson we learn from this. And it's a very good one because we don't want to be too fixed on anything really during these times. So being flexible and intellectual is all about Gemini. It rules the nervous system, the solar plexus chakra, and it's about awakening and transformation, um, our own immortality. Some of the archetypes are like the witness, the storyteller, anybody that's had closeness with a Gemini person. When I think of the storyteller, my brothers were like the people that could meet a stranger and make them feel like they'd known them all their life. Always full of stories, a lot of levity, a lot of laughter. They can be the trickster. It is the trickster energy. So, again, I think when we are in the midst of that sort of fickle, changeable, mutable, lots swirling around, our lesson in that is to find our grounding, to find our own inner instinct, and you know, not believe everything that we see or hear. Let it kind of play out. So some of the crystals ruled by Gemini are moonstone, citrine, calcite, opal, agate, and tiger's eye. And of course, during a full moon, we always ask, "There's Shabaka, ladies, I know. How you
I know.
doing? It's almost time for our toboggans you made."
Oh, I've been wearing them.
I've been wondering, you know, we've been offline for a few weeks. I was wondering who we'd get to say hello to in the chat. So I appreciate you showing up for us. And so, you know, during the full moon to set your crystals out, you know, it can be a certain cleansing, you know, and as we're talking about information that may or may not be true, one of the things that's been coming up in my reality a lot this week is about the moon, you know, and it's stuff like, is it hollow? You know, is there another species living on it? Did we ever really land there? So all of these mythologies and folklores about the moon itself have been very prominent. And Gemini ruled by Mercury is our intellect, like it's being intellectual. And and so have one for me, Chewbacca. I quit a long time ago, but it doesn't mean it's not still in my heart.
Me too, honey. I quit midway.
Yeah, and I can't go with the vape stuff. I just can't do that.
Cute
Oh yeah,
swan.
the swans are pretty.
Yeah, I was trying to bring out the twin flame tree.
Yeah, cool. Well, the twins, Gemini, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
as we are into this week, we have Mars holding hands with the sun in Sagittarius, and Mars is fire, Sagittarius is fire, the sun is fire. So that is argumentative. It is very active. It's very, it can be confrontational. It can bring up old buried arguments or old buried anger. It can be really good for sex. It can be really hot sex.
Hmm.
Mars is the warrior. He is a leader. It can be very compulsive kind of energy where you jump with your head first without thinking things through. So, and Sagittarius is all about the truth. So this week has been also about a mission of finding the truth. And sometimes, especially on a political platform in our world, the truth can be really hard to swallow. There's a lot of, news stories out there and everything that are very hard to believe. And so, with Gemini and the solar plexus chakra being about awakening, a whole lot of the energy we're in has to do with us being awake to what is real and not living in our bubbles that are just comfortable or familiar, right? That we get in our routines in our life and we have these perceptions of how life should be, and it's comfortable. And when we are shook up by some truth or story of something that's another way other than what we thought it was, it can be, it can throw you off your game. And so that's why finding that core of your being and your instinct is what navigates this kind of very fickle, quick, uh,
So it's
chaotic
kind of,
kind of energy.
you need to like really find your groundings to not get over
Too far. Yeah.
like in your head or like whatever is going on.
It can be very, and we're always going to be surrounded by people who will never believe the truth, right? They will
Hmm.
never believe that that person or this person could have done that. And sometimes I think, the metaphysical world and people are here for just that reality check, that, oh, yes, that can be true. And, maybe, groups like this that, we are the sort of touchstone of reality that may not be all, unicorns and butterflies, but we're solid, right? And we teach use your intuition and listen to that first voice and don't be influenced by others around you or what have been familiar patterns. And those are all very hard lessons. And part of this lunation this week deals with Saturn has gone direct, right? And Saturn is father time. He teaches us our lessons, and they can be difficult because they can make us feel restricted. We can feel like things aren't moving quick enough, or we want to go forward, and Saturn sits there and says, be still, soul, and be patient. And again, that teaches. So, what I just explained about Mars and the sun being very compulsive and taking actions that are not well thought through, Saturn is then sitting over here pulling on the reins, going, "Whoa, whoa, little doggy, you need to slow down and contemplate the fuzz in your navel." So
Mhm.
it's a weird kind of energy where you've got all this fire and air, very quick and very stirred up, and then the Earth, Saturn, very, mature, very stable, very structured. So those two dynamics are the flavor of our week and next week. And during that time, everybody handle, depending on your elements and how your makeup is in your energy, will determine how much to your benefit you can use this kind of energy, right? So if you're a Capricorn, right? You're an earth energy, you're very structured and responsible. Saturn is your friend. And for someone who's more Gemini or air, Saturn is difficult. Saturn's like the disciplinarian parent. And so it just depends on, your makeup and how you handle stress, because these are stressful aspects. And the other one that I wanted to highlight is about the North Node. So we know the North Node is the finger of God, or the head of the dragon, that points us towards the lessons we're here to learn. It takes us out of our comfort zone. It's not familiar. It's out of the lines that we have always known. The South Node represents past lives, things that are very familiar, comfortable patterns. So, in astrology, the philosophy is that we need to stretch out of our comfort zone and do the North Node. And it has a lot to do with faith, what you believe in, right? And so this North Node is making a positive aspect, a trine, which is 120 degrees, to the planet Mercury. So it's fated encounters, occurrences. Mercury is the messenger, right? It brings things through to our path. You may hear from people from your past. You may have reoccurring dreams or something very familiar. And when that happens, it's so that we can look at it to apply to whatever our current situation is. So, old emotions, that come up. Sometimes that is so that we look at whatever we're doing right now, like say you're angry, say you're angry at work or something. We'll just keep it very benign. You're angry at work, and you recognize that 10 years ago you were in a similar situation. And so what the North Node says is, how have you handled it before? And what we're asked to do is to handle it differently. Do the thing that we didn't do before, because that's how we break the pattern. We stretch out of our comfort zone. So it's also making aspects to, well, that North Node and Mercury is also about making peace with your past. So say, in a current work situation, you feel triggered about something that's happened similarly in past work situations. And this is the energy to make peace with that and not keep holding on to the hurt or the disappointment, or you got passed over for a promotion and have always had some deep resentment about it. Just whatever it was, a relationship. You're meeting someone new and it triggers something familiar from the past. What are those patterns to apply to the current situation? So that is also making an aspect to Neptune. And Neptune is our heightened intuition, right? He is the god that protects the gate, that protects all of the mysteries of the universe at the bottom of the ocean. And we are asked to swim in some very muddy, dark, murky waters to get to that intuition. And that can be painful. because, the subconscious mind is a funny thing. It's a funny thing, what we bury there and don't want to deal with. So when you have a full moon making a trine to Mercury and aspecting Neptune, some communication from your subconscious is going to try to come to the surface. And what Neptune does is seduces. It seduces us into those dark, murky waters, making them look very glamorous or come hither, very romantic, very fantasy like. And I think that again is another way that we are sort of coerced into remembering subconscious patterns. You might, this is a great time for doing dream work. I was at one of those like cheapy discount stores not long ago, and they had all these kind of like cheap dream journals. And I mean, I have plenty of pads of paper, but there was something about the way this was set up, with the pages and everything. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put that next to my bed because I've been having some really, really, really wild dreams. And so this is a really good energy to keep a dream journal and use what you can pull out of your subconscious mind up into your reality and apply it to now. Um, it's great for pursuing new interests and hobbies if you're feeling a little lackluster in your life, or uh, Saturn has a way of making us feel sort of bored or like nothing's really happening. It's been retrograde. We have Pluto coming around to move forward as well. So by the 1st of 2024, all of these outer planets that have been retrograde since the beginning of, say, Mayish, I think, it was about 6 months, will all be direct. So if you've been feeling sort of held hostage or in some kind of weird time capsule where nothing's really happening or moving forward, as we get into December and the first of the year, a lot will be happening. A lot will change the directions you're going in and the decisions that you make. And so just pay attention to your instincts, your intuition. Don't dismiss the first voice. When I've read for many people and they'll say, oh, I hear a lot of voices and I don't know what to believe. Your first voice is your intuition. And it's often the thing you don't want to deal with. The first voice will say, don't eat that chocolate. And then the rest of your mind or your ego will negotiate all the
Mm.
reasons why I deserve that chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Around the block. So we negotiate ourselves and we doubt ourselves, and that gets us into, you know, um, trouble. And so, whatever first voice is when you're trying to make a decision and lots going on, if you will just take a few breaths, be quiet for a few minutes. For a lot of water type energies, being in the shower or a bath is also very helpful to tune in, ask your honest to God heart question, and whatever your first voice is it. And quite often that answer will make you cry because it is not what you want to hear. But you don't have to listen to your intuition. I'm just saying that when we listen to our intuition, we don't go wrong. It's when we ignore what our intuition says and that sort of Mars compulsive, you know, moving forward without thinking, is where we get into drama and scenarios that can create chaos. So let's see what else I can have to say here. One of the other resounding themes is resilience. So, as you go through your different experiences in life, love, work, family, your self improvement, your goals that you set for yourself in your life, and there's a theory that every decade or so your body changes. And so, what I'm in my 60s. What I thought I wanted when I was in my 30s at this point in my life is so far removed. And so, this energy and coming to the end of the year and a natural sort of time for evaluation has to do with reflection on where are you in your life? You know, where do you want to be? What are your goals? Again, there's a lot of information floating around, and be flexible to changing that. This came to my mind that may mean something to someone. Say you're creating a prototype of a product and you've investigated with patenting your idea and manufacturing options, and um, say that the material that you're going to use, this switch, you're creating a switch for something, and you had it all figured out that you were going to use this plastic metal combination. And somewhere along the way, there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, you know, spend that extra money and use copper. And you're in your head negotiating, oh no, man, that I have to go back and I'd have to redo all this work and that's more money and blah, blah, blah. But it's either go back over something and do it right, or power through and ignore your instinct and end up having to do it over again anyway. So there's a lot of this sort of reevaluation, going back over, learning what you've learned from the past to apply now. And it's okay if there's a delay in getting to that final goal. If you're getting to it with all the information and you've put your heart into it, it's not just from the ego, right? It's something that you've really resonated to, then there's no way you won't succeed. It's when we ignore the little voice and we don't want to be bothered with going back over to do something. This is very common with writers and editing. And
Mm.
Gemini is all about publishing and writing, getting your information out there. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've gone over and over and over something, and it's so frustrating. And it's like, but then in the end, when you've spent that extra time, it resonates to you. You're very calm. There's a calm, um, relaxed feeling. So that's, I think, where we're all shooting to get to, where we're at a point in our path where whatever the situations are, that we're calm about it. Even if you're in a situation that you're uncomfortable about, you're you're Saturn, you're mature, you're accepting the way it is, knowing that you have goals and potentials to get to the next point.
Mhm.
So this is a very great time to let your imagination flow, you know, do creative things. The new hobbies or creative outlets are a great way to get out of your head and use some of that nervous energy. There's a very, very famous astrologer named Michael Lutin, Lutin. He's from New York. And back in the day, he was the staff astrologer that wrote for Vogue magazine, or no, Harper's Bazaar, excuse me, Harper's Bazaar. And, you know, before the internet and everything going online, we actually had groups of astrologers get together and hold conferences. And not that they don't do it now, but back then it was the only way to get together and communicate and teach and learn. And, you know, he recommended a book that it's coming to my mind to pass it forward. And it's called The Drama of the Gifted Child. And we all have potentials. And a lot of times that's how astrologers feel charts are, is they are the potentials for a person's unfoldment and evolution. And then you have free will. So you have free will that is, basically the ego. So um, that combination can often impede us from reaching our goals. And this energy is very dramatic. And it is also a really good time to recognize your own gifts, recognize your own value. And so if you're in any situations that make you feel less than the asset and valuable person that you are, just giving the fact that you are a loving, breathing human being here on earth, trying to do the best you can do. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're in any situation that at all is not supportive of that, and so those are the lessons of this energy. And I feel like I am being very Gemini because I'm chat, 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 and that's what Gemini does. It's very chatty. It's very uh, talking in circles, and you know. So,
Uh,
any questions, or that's basically in a nutshell what we are dealing with right now. We've been a week into it. And I don't know if anybody in the chat would like to share anything about their full moon week, or you have anything you want to share. Um,
I
very
don't know.
active here, in different categories of my little world, but so a lot happening, a lot of changes, a lot of movement, a lot of movement.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely been a lot of movement in my corner. Um,
Do you
a
see
lot.
Chewbacca say that's ADHD?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. um, that's true. Um, yeah. To me, I just feel tired. Like I feel like in the past week, I've had so many meetings, and it's really deterring me from actually being creative. And so I can't have meetings back to back to back to back
And then get work done.
and then do something creative, and I'm like it doesn't I have to take a brain break,
Right.
and then it takes a while for me to kind of get into it. And so that has been my situation. But also I've been really tired. I feel like I'm not getting enough sleep. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. So yeah, I'm
It
feeling.
is. It's an interesting time, and we are not that far from the new moon in Sagittarius on the 12th.
Mhm.
We're on the 1st, so we'll be heading into mid December with a new moon in Sag. And Sag is all about, going after the truth and being free. And that's a very Jupiterian kind of buoyancy and optimism. And one of the common themes that I've noticed around me, and when I see it a bunch of times, I feel like it's something to share with the group, and that is people being fed up with people being fake. Like the holidays can be a very commercial fake time. And where I work and everything, a bunch of people have just been like, I'm just over this sort of fake. Everything's happy and uh, doing fine. Everybody's having a rough time actually, and especially parents who have kids and trying to figure out how to shop for Christmas. And this one girl I work with showed me these printouts a 14-year-old daughter gave her, and then I think an older daughter, I don't know, but it was like pages and pages and pages of things that they want. And, I'm not a parent to understand. I can only imagine that it's very frustrating that you want to give your kid everything you possibly can. And a lot of times resources aren't there to be able to do that. And finding that, and there's Saturn, that mature middle ground that, um, you can live with in terms of maybe putting the focus on the holidays more to the winter solstice, the end of a year, and evaluation and reflection.
Well, I have something. I made it easy. Can I bring it out since we're talking
I
about it?
would love for you to. Yes,
Okay,
let's do
hold
some
on.
shopping.
Yeah, well, all you need is in this box.
Oh, right.
All right. So yeah, guys. So I mean, if you guys, don't know already, I'm gonna show it one more time. But
That's beautiful.
I have everything in this box that you need to give to your boss, your sister, your brother. I don't care who.
Well,
Like,
let's break it down. What is in that box?
okay. So we have here. Oops, and
Oops,
then the candle fell. A little succulent candle. Okay,
that's so cute.
I know. And then honey sticks.
Ah,
Yes, and some bourbon whiskey chocolate.
oh,
Yeah, and a notebook for journaling your stuff.
your dreams,
Yep, some tea.
tea.
Yep, cozy socks with a scrunchie.
Ah, ah, I
Little
love,
mushroom cup.
I love it.
And I mean, it really depends on what you opt for, but I have like a honey jar with a little stick and
I love
honeybees.
that.
And then right in here, this is a golden tea strainer and a golden spoon.
And is that a blankie?
Yeah, this is like a throw,
Oh
like a
my God,
blanket.
that
So
is so neat.
yeah, guys. So like, if you guys are into it, I mean, y'all missed out on the sale if you didn't get it, but it was 25% off. But now it's 15%. So
I
I mean,
love it.
it's still like a good savings, and I have it in different types of groupings. So
Yes,
you get the ultimate grouping. You can get like a little small grouping with just notebook, the cup and the tea. And then there's
yes.
the ones with the cozy socks, the scrunchie, But yeah, I have like little different groupings and stuff. And it's
I
all at
love that.
foxytees.com.
I love it at foxyt.com.
Yeah, tea with a S, teas.
And so you don't go to scorpiomoonintuition.com.
No, because that's not Scorpio's thing. It's Foxy Tees.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I really thought about it because a lot of times people they go shopping for, they get like something from here, something from there. But
Yeah.
why don't you just like get a box with
Right.
everything and get it over with?
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I love it.
I love it too, and I'm gonna give you one.
Oh,
You just have to let me know what you want, and we can talk about that later. But I got
I'm going to
different
go over to
mugs.
your website and I'll order it.
Oh,
So um, on lionmountainhealing.com, charts are on sale. So, and I do gift certificates if you want to buy a gift certificate for somebody to get their chart done.
oh yes, like this is the perfect time, guys. Like if you want to know what 2024
End of the
brings,
year. Yeah. Yeah.
like this is a perfect time to check in with Sunny because like I'm curious too.
Well, I have to catch myself from wishing my life away because year after year, and of course, astrology is cyclical and speaks to the cycles of planets and time itself. And so, all my life, really, I've looked at this time of the year as reflection and evaluation. And I guess for probably 20, 25 years, I've always said that this next year is going to be the launch pad of super great things. And everything sort of stays the same. So I'm getting ready to say, okay, 2024 is going to be the launch of many great things. So I hope that that does manifest. I know that.
Well, this is the thing that I've realized, and sometimes things take time. So what I feel is that, as much as we want to have and manifest these things, and you like knowing through astrology, like there's a time and place for everything. Like it would take like maybe a decade before, something would truly manifest in the way that we would want. But it takes like the journey of going through those experiences and really like, I guess removing our karma,
Yeah.
so that we can get to the good stuff.
And I
So,
think we do change,
mhm,
from time to time we change and adjust what we thought we wanted and then we don't. Um, and then, not wishing our life away, like whatever your circumstances, to have a gratitude for it. And there was a comical meme or something at one point. It's been around a long time, but basically something to the gist of, do you wake up in the morning and say, oh God, another day? Or do you wake up in the morning and go, great, another day? I mean, what's your attitude when you first wake up in the morning to start your day? And, throughout your life, that can change and be different things at different times.
mhm,
So I think between the Gemini full moon and Sagittarius new moon, that is all energy that's very chaotic and fired up, a lot of energy, a lot of action, where we've kind of been through a lull.
mhm,
Um, you know, in this kind of platform, it's easy to get into like overall, like the state of affairs of things because it's stuff we see playing out on a world platform. But then it's also kind of a touchy area to go into to try to, apply that to each individual's personal situation. You know, we're all expressing this differently. Um, so I would say, just be very conscientious of the disciplinarian inside yourself, Saturn, right? And don't make any moves too quick, Gemini, because Gemini and Mars will have you all over the place. Um, Now, of course, this is coming from someone old. If you're young and out there, I'd say go all over the place. Live and take all of those different pathways and gain experience. As you get older, you become more conservative about how much energy you're going to spend on certain aspects of your life if it doesn't have value or um, I don't know. There's something about getting older where you just want to feel more sense of stability or security. I don't take as many risks as I used to, don't want to. But I certainly love to see younger people take those risks. And it isn't like, I mean, probably the reason I am the way I am is because I took so many crazy risks growing up. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that, like you say, like everything that we experience, comes with time. It's like, we have like our young adulthood, our middle age, then going into, I guess,
golden years,
yeah, you
golden years.
know, and then platinum, I don't know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think there's a different time for everything, and it's like embracing, like those parts of our life that we experience or go through, and that's what makes the journey kind of beautiful. I
Well, and I guess I'll give everyone an update on my elderly neighbors since it's been a while since we've been together. And then one thing about time in your life is the older you get, old people don't seem as old as they did when, you know, you were younger, right? So when I was younger, to see someone 60 seemed like they were, you know, past, ready to pass away. I'm, into my 60s and still feel like I've got a lot to live. So it's weird how your perspective will change. My neighbors are in their upper 80s, and I've known them all my life. And it's weird how seeing them change. And this week, with all of this energy, they've had a flurry, both of them have had a flurry of medical procedures. One goes through, has been trying to fight liver failure, which causes a whole host of fluid issues. and heart failure. And then the other one is dealing with the stages of Alzheimer's. And they're very strong headed, independent people. One is a Leo, one is a Virgo. You cannot tell them anything, and they are determined to stay in their home. They
Mm-hmm.
have adult sons my age. I went to school with them who don't live nearby but do come through the area and help. But I'm right next door, and I almost daily am doing something to
Good.
help.
Mm-hmm.
And so recently, I guess it was Tuesday night or so, the Alzheimer's is progressing. It's manifesting um, by not being able to retain a thought from one room to the other, kind of thing. Um, and she recognizes something's different in her, and then that creates depression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for the first time this week, what I saw in his face, and they've been married, I think like 68 years.
Mm.
And they've always been a very cool couple and very active. It's really sad to see how their physicality is taking its toll. But for the first time, I was up there. I'm kind of like their little secretary, right? I help process insurance claims for them and get doctor's forms completed and stuff like that. And I had to pick up some forms that were needing to be emailed out to a doctor. And for the first time in all of this 2 years, this has been going on with the different health problems. Um, I saw fear in his face, and I've never seen that before. And there's something about seeing your elders get scared, right? Because the people, our older generations, are who we look to learn from and um,
So he feels
defer
like
to.
he's going into uncharted territories. It doesn't feel familiar to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's definitely, dealing with your mortality,
Yeah.
your life and your reflection and your mortality. So,
Mhm.
and they want so badly to stay in their home and not be. She was so funny the other night. She had this neurological evaluation appointment. She knows enough to know that that's what she's going through. And when she saw her son who'd come into town, she comes into the kitchen and goes, I don't want to see you. You know, I want you to put me in a nursing home as far away from you as you can. And her husband, who God bless him, still has a sense of humor, said, well, do you want that to be South Africa or Europe? What nursing home do you want?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that levity, being able to have some humor in the midst of figuring out how you're exiting this world. Um, it's just a very difficult part of life. And for me, as I'm not a daughter, I'm just a neighbor that's been around forever. They knew my parents. And for me, I come home feeling a little triggered because I was my parents' caregiver for years around the clock. And I feel like I've done that. And I
Mhm.
don't really rejoice doing it. I feel guilty for saying that. But, it's like same in they
Well,
didn't have any girls in their family, and boys are not really, the boys seem like kind of put off that they're having to take time off from work to come and do this or that, whereas women step up. They're the nurturers,
right.
regardless. But if I'm honest with you, it does feel like, why do I have to do this again? But I couldn't just stand by and see them need help and not help. But
Mhm.
I think what it does, and especially holidays and the end of the year, you tend to think about family, right? And so I think what it does is it just triggers sort of my grief of missing my folks. So, you know, this kind of energy will play out differently for everyone. For my little corner of the world, it's been some really hard life types of chapters. And I'll be glad to see a new year, but we'll get
Yeah.
unfortunately, I hate when I said initially, I hate wishing my life away.
Uh-huh.
I am waiting to get through. Like the month of December is just so full of extra activity for people, and Gemini makes people on edge, so it adds to that stress. And so, yeah, just take time to not get too over stimulated or active. If you are doing a lot of extra social things, taking time to recoil and rejuvenate too, whatever that means for you. For
All
me,
right.
it means climbing under my blankie and taking a
Mhm.
nap.
Me too. Honey, you and me both. I need more sleep because I've been like on 4 hours of sleep every day, and it's
um,
not. It's catching up, and
yeah,
I'm tired to be honest. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's important. We're not good for anybody else if we don't take care of ourselves. And
Mhm.
I know there it's cold, and it's gotten cold here and dark. So, again, the winter solstice.
I wanna take a time out and say thank you, Shabaka, for your, beanie,
Yes,
because it is cold, and that thing keeps my head warm.
it is the greatest. Are
It
you
is the
making a bunch of them now?
it is the best, like, beanie ever, like, Turk, whatever you wanna call it. So,
I call them toboggans.
yeah, I think, like, the Southerners call it toboggans,
Okay.
but yeah. But, yeah, I mean, if sh yeah, your pleasure,
My
yeah.
pleasure. Are you making them again this year? I mean, are you
Yeah,
making
she's been steadily making orders, so,
good?
I think, like, her Instagram is MLE is it MLE, uh, what's the rest, honey? Help me out. But anyways, like, it is the
It's
snuggiest,
nice. Yeah.
warmest, uh, thing that I
Really
get
well made. Yeah.
because
I
it was
feel so grateful to have one.
they're in the store now.
MLE
Mm.
knit.
Knit. Okay, yeah. She makes awesome, like, knit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just wanted to, like, because it was windy
Absolutely.
outside and it kept me warm, so yay!
Hey, good job. Good job. Well, in honor of Gemini being the trickster and a very funny energy, I pulled out the cue cards.
Okay, and
We
I
can have
have
a little laugh here as we go through card pulls and the signs.
pulled out the affirmators, love and relationships.
All right.
So, maybe a little love
So a little
action.
levity. Yeah. Yeah. It's been kind of intense lately here, anyway. Too
And
intense, too much reality.
alright, so we're gonna start off with Aries.
I haven't been able to update the page in some time because of that. I even made a super wide. Oh, tubular scarf. How about infinity scarves? Would that be
Uh,
a tubular scarf? You could
well,
do an
that's what that
infinity.
sounds like a gumbo.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bralette.
I went on right past those. Yeah. Zoomed right past the bralette. I see those commercials and it just cracks me up.
What about bralettes?
Yeah.
I never seen them. What was it like? But in a tube, like in hats. Oh, okay. Huh.
Oh goodness, they're they're
So
they're
kind of like
dropping
a
everywhere.
little
Come on.
toboggan, a tunic. I don't know what you want to
Are
call
you
it.
asking me about a bralette?
No, I was talking about the thing that you put on your head. It's truly multi-layered. Oh well, let me see a picture of that shabak. I might be interested
Okay.
in your tube hat.
I got 3 cards for Aries, and I'm going to take all 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
This is so apropos. Passion.
Oh,
Watch your back. And this could be good.
a banana.
A fly swatter and a flame.
Okay, and I have a key and a trunk, and it says curiosity. It says, meeting new people, I remember what a treasure trove of opinions, interests, and stories they are. But the treasures will only be unlocked if I embrace my curiosity. So I'll be curious and you will be interesting. Deal? Okay. So, well, there's passion and a banana. I don't know.
Watch your back.
So it might be good, but you might have to step away, yeah.
Aries. So, the Mars that rules Aries is what's making the conjunction to the Sagittarius sun right now. And that's very volatile. That's very sexy. It's very free love, um, open relationships. Sagittarius wants to be free. Mars, passionate, free passion.
So Aries, yeah, if you're into that, now's the time to go ahead and get it done and over with. Don't play while the energy's hot.
Strike while the iron's hot, right?
Uh, get it while you can. All right. So next I have Taurus.
Taurus, earthy Taurus, passionate Taurus, ruled by Venus. We have
Oh,
some Venus aspects going on too. We hadn't talked about Venus much yet.
well, I have sensuality for Taurus.
This says take a look at yourself.
Hmm. Okay. So you have a mirror, and this says, if I can focus, embracing sensuality doesn't necessarily mean you're middle-aged swinger. It simply means you're savoring one of the coolest aspects of being alive, sensory input. It's time to get decadent and reward yourself with gifts for the senses. You could drop a wad of cash on champagne and chocolate, or you could tune in and enjoy the incredible gifts around you. Let's see here, the taste of an orange, the sound of a forest, the texture of corduroy. I don't know your life. The point is, it's time to savor whatever your senses can grab hold of, even if that means you're being sensual. Hmm. So take a look at
That
yourself
is so
and
Taurian. That
yeah,
is
like
so
get you some
Taurian.
champagne and chocolates. Who gives a F? Like you deserve it. You don't know.
My mind goes in the gutter with the mirror. Okay, I can't even say what my mind.
Oh, well, I know what you're thinking, honey. You're like, ooh.
It was in that movie, Fried Green Tomatoes. You remember when Kathy Bates goes to that woman's club about discovering yourself, and they all
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. So, Taurus, it's
Taurus,
sexy you time.
yeah, champagne and chocolate.
That sounds good.
It does.
So, I had chocolate earlier today, to be
I did
honest.
too.
Okay, we must be in the chocolate.
Yeah.
Uh,
When I stress, I go for sweets, and I've had a stressful week, so I've definitely overdone it on the sweets.
I did it because I was hungry and I didn't have nothing to eat, and it was quick to pop in my mouth.
Yeah,
You
and it's
know,
got
just,
antioxidants in it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It had protein. It had peanut butter in it. So
Okay. Oh my God, that was really special.
I know.
Gemini and the full moon. I bet they're
Mhm.
rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there.
Oh, look, it's success, fame, and status.
Oh wow, that's some.
That's some good mojo right there.
Yeah. So you're in the moment, and I have listening. So it says, I activate my receptive side and become an engaged, intuitive, professional grade listener. Supercharged listening gives me the ability to not only hear the words others are saying, but also to perceive the emotions hidden between their words. Armed with this knowledge, it'll be a great position to give them exactly what they need, or if I prefer, to dominate the planet. Yeah, that sounds like Gemini. So instead of being chatty, maybe Gemini is like being an active listener about um, success.
Listening to what the people want.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it can go both ways. So like, and also like the receiving of information,
Yeah.
and also like maybe enacting. You know, like.
And when we were talking about a good time to take up something new or interest, taking up photography,
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Well, Gemini, you got it going on.
Gemini's in their zone with this full moon.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because it is a little bit on edge for me, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Like, I need, like, after this, I need to just, like, chill out and watch TV and pass out. Like, so
I'm
next,
being the very responsible Saturnian disciplinarian by doing Medicare work for the next few days.
well, you have fun. This Capricorn's taking a break. Seriously, like, I need, like, I don't know, some downtime.
Cancer, our little nurturing moon child under a Gemini full moon.
I don't know, but Luna's been moody lately.
I got two. I like them both. And
Oh.
this is Encounter and Cha Cha Cha.
And it's about self worth. Interesting.
Go dancing, Cancer.
Yeah, like maybe this is about like let's just say you're worried about yourself, like how you appear in front of like people. So it says, I cast off all concerns about what people think of me. I know I'm a total kick-ass person, and my kick-assness can never be diminished by rejection. So people can think what they can think and feel they can feel. In the meantime, I'll just keep on knowing what I know without thinking about what they are thinking about what I already know. I think. Don't think, just like know. Know your self worth. You
Just go
know,
dancing.
you know what? Like, yeah, go out and have a good time.
Cha Cha Cha.
Get that nervous energy out and say, I'm a badass and would you dance with me?
Yes. And have an encounter.
Yeah, and have a good time too. You know, got to burn up that
Love
energy
it. I love
somewhere,
it.
somehow.
I love that.
So next we have Leo. I wonder what Leo's up to other than paperwork.
Yeah, Leo is struggling this week. Oh,
Well,
this Leo is anyway. I'm struggling with a lot of emotions and work and grief triggered, old grief triggered.
I'll just like it'll be
This
okay.
is fork in the road. It
Oh,
also applies to me.
and I have listening again.
Oh,
So it says, I activate my receptive side and become an engaged, intuitive, professional grade listener. Supercharged listening gives me the ability to not only hear the words others are saying, but also to perceive the emotions hidden between their words. armed with this knowledge, it'll be a great position to give them exactly what they need, or if I prefer, to dominate the planet. So, listening to like maybe choices and decisions or feeling stuck, like I guess listening to your intuition might be the thing. Remember, you had mentioned like follow your first thought, like your gut instinct. That's the thing that you should follow.
So I don't know if anybody else is going to relate to this, but I'm going to have a truth bomb here and now. So I'm very Leo, 5 planets in Leo, my
Okay.
sun. And on Tuesday, I had one of the most rude experiences in my professional life.
Oh,
And that was on a conference call with two bosses, not my main boss, but two underlings. And it was a pretty serious conversation about a pretty serious transaction with lots of details. And we were in the middle of it. And I hear, so we're in different towns, and I hear a different voice walking into the office of these people I was on the line with. And it took me a minute to recognize it. And then I did. And then all of a sudden, I was on mute. And so I kept sitting there and sitting there. And I was like, should I hang up? We weren't finished. I mean, are they going to come?
they muted the conversation.
Yes. And the guy who walked into the room is the president of the company. And the beginning of the conversation had to do with nothing related to what we were talking about. But I just kept sitting there going, do I hang up? Do I hang up? Do I hang up? I kept thinking they were going to come right back. And I know it was 5 minutes. And I was just about ready to
Hang up.
hang up. And the guy comes back. He goes, oh, sorry. So I, along with a few other just like rude ways that conversation went for the rest of the time, got really provoked because all he had to do was say, let me call you back. That's all he had to do. Let me call you back. But to just block, a coworker like that without any explanation, it really, I just felt like it was so rude. And I don't want to go into any more detail about what the rest of the conversation
So
was
I
like.
mean, like I mean, I guess you had it with your meetings too this week.
So what I wanted to say, and I don't know if I will say it or not, because this is the kind of energy that you probably don't want to say what you really want to say. But we'll see how next week unfolds. Um, I wanted to say, because this is, a grown man close to my age, and I wanted to say, if your sister or aunt or daughter or wife or important female in your life came home and told you that experience, what would you say to them? And I bet you anything they'd say, F that guy, or
Yeah.
F that place. And so when I see fork in the road, I've been having thoughts of making some other professional decisions for Leo.
Okay.
So there you
Okay.
go.
No, I think you're follow your intuition, honey.
And it just sucks because I'm tired.
Mhm.
I mean, I had an interview with a government position, and the lady said, I just don't think you've found your niche yet. And I was like, my niche? My niche? My niche? My
Sorry.
what? I'm kidding. But anyway, it's like, I've been at this place. I just went through my first year's evaluation, got a great raise, got very high marks. Obviously I produce and I'm an asset there. And then he acts like a jerk like that. I'm like, why would you act that way to somebody that brings this kind of revenue into your business? I mean, I bring in almost 3 times more than what they pay me.
Mhm.
And why
Mhm.
would you be rude to another professional that way?
Mhm.
If I were a screw off and didn't work or do anything, yeah, you're trying to get rid of me. But here I'm more than paying my way here. I deserve the, tiniest bit of
Decency.
courtesy. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Right.
Right.
That was
But
my week.
no, that's okay because I feel like with these new energies that, I mean, maybe it's that time.
It's almost an annual thing with me.
You know what? Now that you say it, yeah, you're right, hasn't it?
Yeah. I stayed in one place a couple of years and then the guy started losing his mind. I mean, it's always a legitimate reason to move on. It's not like I don't want to have a commitment, but
Yeah.
uh, it just it just hasn't lined up to be the right fit. And I'm disappointed.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I don't know how other Leos might be feeling out there about their jobs, but this Leo had a rough week. I know. That
Oh
was only one thing. I mean, you don't even get me started with the rest of the list.
my
Good God. Good God, y'all, like James Brown would say.
Mhm. But everything will start to smooth over in the next couple weeks, hopefully.
I hope so.
Mhm.
Well, it's just that time of the year. People just get so much more hypersensitive and hyper, period.
And plus, we have the Mercury retrograde that's
Yeah,
happening too.
right.
I guess we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah. Cray cray.
It'll be all right, honey. We're all in this together.
We're all in it together. Yeah.
Yeah. So next we have Virgo. Virgo, what you guys got going on, Julia?
Virgo. Yeah. They stress out a lot too.
They sure as hell do. Look, benefit of the doubt.
Oh, and I have
Oh my God! And it's got a Leo over
pack your
there.
bags.
Pack your bag. Wow.
You're going on a trip.
I know. Look, it looks like a Leo and a Capricorn right there.
It does. The lion and the goat.
Yeah, so it says, I believe in the basic goodness of other people and I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career.
That's great.
Pack your bags.
Pack your bags. Yeah. Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again.
Cut the rope. Like,
Pack your bags. Get on a plane.
man, so Virgo, I think Virgo is very like a
Nervous.
caregiver, yeah, nurturer sort of person. And so, if you give the benefit of the doubt and things don't work out, just leave. You don't need to stay. Why do you have to be like the martyr or
Because
the
they're good at it. Is why.
well, come on, get over it. Like, don't try not to be the perfectionist for once.
Now,
Okay.
my Virgo elderly neighbor, one thing that is weird that I recognize, and this might just be being elderly and not the Virgo, but it's funny how his health condition gets better when he has people and attention around him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that about Virgos. Honestly, they're very much like Libra almost.
It's something about needing attention.
They do. They need that validation. I'm not saying every Virgo, but okay, Virgos, y'all, I'm a Virgo rising, so I'm not like that, but
They're mainly picky.
Yeah, they are picky. I give it that much.
I think that's the main energy. Virgo's very picky. And Libra,
Lib-
stormy weather.
Oh, wow. We have maturity. And it says, I make peace with the tough relationships of my past. I probably should have skipped the pain that came with it, but I'm grateful for the lessons they brought me. Because of those tough relationships, I can look back at the mosaic of my life and see the value and even in the most broken pieces.
Love it.
Wow.
I love that.
And it's all about the stormy weather. And the small thing, it says stalk. What? Internet stalk my exes? And then I really dodged a bullet.
Ah, I think we've all felt that a few times.
Yeah. So this is the thing, Libra. Maybe you had a crazy situation, and there was some stalking, thing, and then you really
And,
dodged a bullet.
and
Maybe this is
Libra brings in the court system or court procedures, legal procedures. It could have been like an actual case of stalking, maybe.
well, if you reach a sense of maturity on it, good for you. You don't need that. It's time to move on. Just saying, it'll be all right.
Might be a resolution of a legal case.
Well, I hope it's good regardless of the outcome.
Yeah. Because full moons do tend to bring completion.
So hopefully it's an ending towards a crazy situation,
Right.
you know.
It's been very stormy.
Mhm. So that's good. And then plus with the Sagittarian new energies that are coming through, then it's like moving past
Ooh, I keep dropping
that
all
thing, Now we have Scorpio.
and this one
Scorpio.
flew out.
Oh,
Bullseye.
and I have ownership. It's got matching blue.
Bullseye.
Oh. Oh, well, what's oh, I see. Oh, it's a real bullseye. Okay.
It is.
So it says, for the ownership, I take ownership for how I make others feel and how I do my part to repair any bridges I might have burned or perhaps even lightly singed. If bridge mending feels impossible, then I can start small. Instead of becoming a bridge architect, maybe I'll just skip the bridge and walk the long way around. Taking ownership is great for burning calories.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
deep.
Yeah. So
On point, Scorpio.
maybe you're going to the depths or to the bottom of a situation and taking ownership, you know. Yeah, that's tough.
But the essence of Scorpio wants the truth.
Yeah,
So
they
to get to
do.
the bottom, hit the target, accept it, move on.
Mhm. I
Go
mean,
to go to a shooting range for practice.
like the quickest way possible, like all
Take
right,
up
I
archery.
own it. Let's move on.
Yes. Because
Wow, that
Scorpio can get, kind of dark and maudlin. So they need to be careful
loosen
not
up
to
and
get
like be
too,
more
yeah,
Gemini like.
yeah,
Woohoo, let's have
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Like,
Like transfer that, depression energy into something creative
mhm.
or physical, like something athletic.
Yeah, that sounds like it been like down in the dumps or being like I don't know. It doesn't feel very good, but if you can learn to transmute those energies and take
Right.
ownership of it, then you can make light of the situation. Is how I'm
So the
getting.
lesson of Scorpio is moderation, right?
Mhm.
And not get too extreme about anything. So, you know, having to, whatever that card was talking about, not,
Ownership, taking
yeah,
ownership.
and not getting down about it, but just being in the middle of the road about it, and
Yeah,
do
own it.
something, yeah, do something to move the energy, break a sweat.
I think that's some wise words right there.
Scorpio can get very dark and very down.
Yeah, they sure as hell can. Just saying. Scorpios.
They call it the tortured soul.
They take it hard.
So here's a funny story about my office. And of course, we don't talk about the zodiac in my office, but there's a bunch of Scorpio birthdays recently. And one of the young female attorneys was talking to like an old senior attorney and realizing that their birthdays were very close together. And the old guy goes, I've never really known, what does that mean, Scorpio? I don't know what that means. And the young girl goes, well, it means we're very passionate and a little feisty. Like that. And I just laughed. I kept my mouth shut. I wanted to go into this whole dissertation about the
Yeah, like I'll keep my mouth shut
so
on this.
to let you set it on fire and the self-sabotage cycle of life, death, life. I mean, I wanted to like give them a whole thing. And then I just kept standing there because I was kind of in a hurry to get out of that subject or whatever, and we're out of that office. And I was like, I'm not going to say a word. But it was so funny to see these people that have never really, done anything about zodiac signs or whatever, and they're like
And even
how they
even their
perceive it.
yeah, their interpretation of it
Yeah,
too. Like
I
it's
would
like,
not call Scorpio passionate and feisty myself. I mean, those are probably two of the last words that I would use. I would say penetrating, dark.
what are you talking about? We are passionate.
Isn't that funny? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Feisty.
Well, I guess feisty.
They do live on the edge. So that might be that, living on the edge.
Oh, is that what that feisty means?
I think that's maybe what she meant.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, I know defensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Secretive. That's what I wanted to say. I was like, no, y'all are a bunch of secretive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mute. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I
Like
know.
really?
Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
I have receiving for Sag.
And I have require stillness.
Oh, yeah. So let's see if we can focus. I open up and allow myself to receive love in all ways. From all directions, it may seem scary, but it's better than receiving audits, bed bugs, or hate mail. I receive love and it feels so good that I decide to receive it some more, and then some more, and maybe just a wee bit more.
I love it.
So sad.
It's
Here's the
awesome.
thing, instead of running away and I don't know, doing whatever you do,
Trying to
like
be free.
sit still and receive something because
Yeah.
somebody's trying to give you something, but you're not sitting still long enough to receive it.
Yeah.
Um, it may be hard, but if you want it, you gotta sit still.
And I think didn't I say I think it's a Sagittarius new moon
Well, yeah, in the next couple weeks.
on the 12th.
Yeah, so sit still for now. You never know what you get when the new moon comes around.
You can get a lot when you sit still.
Yeah, you do. You get clarity.
Yeah.
You get presents or something. Just that.
Peace.
Yeah, peace, rest. So next is cap. Oh, initiative.
Let's see. Well, I think it said, let's see, mere seconds to spare.
Okay.
Something's
Well,
going to happen.
I got a time bomb. Let's see.
Yeah.
It says, step right up. You're being awarded a boost of initiative. The potent potion, let's see here, will give you, I can't read that, will give you the gusto you need to move your life in a previous unexplored direction. If you're in a relationship, then it's time to take initiative and make something interesting, to make some interesting plans for you and your partner. If you're not in one, it's time to reach out to old friends or go on adventures and potentially meet some new cohorts. Either way, this great journey is beginning with one small step or one short text or whatever. I'm not the boss of you. So it's with seconds, not even minutes, seconds to spare. Take the initiative and go out there and put yourself out there, Cap.
Yes. Take a break from work.
Oh, trust me, I am. I am definitely taking the initiative. So that's good news, Cap. Good for
All
you.
right.
You need a break. Shit. I know. Anyway, next is Aquarius.
Another air sign. So they would be very active with the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more quirky than usual. I
Yeah,
love Aquarius. I
I
say
do.
that with lots of affection.
Mm.
Oh, not sure what it means, but it's 50-50.
Okay. Oh, and I have maturity. So here we go. Um, Focus. I make peace with the tough relationships of my past. I probably would have skipped the pain they came with, but I'm grateful for the lessons they brought me. Because of those tough relationships, I can look back at the mosaic of my life and see the value in even the most broken pieces. So, maybe Aquarius, you're feeling the sense of maturity, but you're on the fence. So this is like the Aquarian mind, like, you're thinking about it, maybe like, pulling back. Um, but what I'm saying is that you feel like maybe you've dodged a bullet, but you're not quite sure. That's what I feel. I feel like you're on the fence.
Well, and I think that again, resilience is a theme for the air energy. So, whatever those hardships were, it also teaches how resilient you can be. It was a 50-50 chance, whatever it was, that didn't work out.
Hmm. I think it's like
This
growing
can,
pains too.
this can also represent to me looking at your glass half full or half empty,
Oh yeah.
being grateful for the experience. What's that old adage sort of thing that it's better to have loved and lost than to not love at all? And
Hmm.
sometimes, like that Neptunian influence will touch our heart. And like what's very common in the twin flame journey is, your heart is touched, but nothing happens. And instead of grieving that or feeling bad about that, it's a lesson that teaches that you're able to feel that way.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean anything will come to pass, but just the fact that you were able to feel that way is a good lesson in and of itself. Sometimes we forget that.
Well, I think that's good. I think it's like maybe because with this full moon energy, that 50-50 Gemini aspect, and them also being an air sign too, it's
Yeah,
like maybe reflecting on how they've come to this point. You
yeah,
know, like maybe they were immature in the past and now they've reached that level of maturity.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, good for you, Aquarius.
I
All
can't
right.
but do that song. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And there's this whole debate in the astrological community about we're not even into the age of Aquarius for another 1,000 years, but yet we keep saying we're in the age of Aquarius. So there's a whole controversy on
We're in the still Capricorn
that.
energy, realistically, right?
Well, I guess with Pluto moving into Aquarius for good in the next few months, that's why we call it the age of Aquarius. But it just depends on which system you use to calculate the years and the actually the centuries.
Hmm. Okay. Well, you know more about that than I do, so I don't know.
I think it's kind of cool to call it the age of Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
Aquarius
Optimist.
rules astrology, so the more common astrology is accepted and utilized, I would say that is the age of Aquarius.
Okay. Oh, well, here we are with Pisces. Ah, we have a clock. Foolish. Oh, are you reliable? Or are you being a fool? The trickster, the clown, right?
Yes.
So it says, I am reliable. When I say I'll do something, I take whatever that something is seriously. This applies to all commitments, even the ones that may have seemed small and insignificant to a less reliable me. From now on, of flaking is just for dandruff commercials and cereal factories. Okay.
That's funny.
uh and yeah, there's that like comical aspect. I feel that Pisces is picking up because Pisces is very similar to Gemini because of the duality that they have, like that they have in similar contrast. um but if you haven't been reliable, I feel that maybe now you are.
Well, my head kind of goes towards the Piscean propensity for indulgence in,
Mm-hmm.
in things. Of course, they can indulge in chocolate, and that's might not be great for their health, but if they indulge in alcohol or drugs, they could act a little foolish.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you had reliability?
Yeah, I really feel like, you know, they can be reliable, but then they can't. Like, I really feel like
Right,
it's like an off and on switch for
right.
Pisces. And when they say that they'll do something, they'll do it, but on their own time, you know?
Yes, yes. And I think it depends on the influence around them.
And I feel like they're making a joke out of it. Like, well, I did say that.
Right.
And then, like, what? Okay, yeah, you did, but, like, how much time were you thinking? Like, 48 hours as opposed to 24, you know? Yeah, I totally see that, and, like, trying to, like, make a play out of
Yeah.
being, reliable.
They
That's
can be
okay,
very
Pisces. Like, they can dream
sensitive.
and, like, think that, "Oh, wow, time passed so fast." Okay.
Yeah.
At least that's how I'm taking it, but, I do have Pisces aspects in my chart, so, yeah, I could be in La La Land too, and I need to be reliable.
I think that a big part of them takes on the energy of who's near them. So if they absorb negative energy, then they could act the fool. And if they're around responsible, sort of mature people, then they can be very reliable. I think it has a lot to do with what energy they're around.
I think that's true for anybody, though. Like,
Well, Pisces is the empath.
right,
So,
you're like a psychic sponge.
yeah, that's why my dad was a Pisces.
Mhm.
And, he could be very responsible and reliable. And then he could go off with the boys and golf and drink and be a fool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, me. That
I
was
hear that. Yeah, it was. So let's see what's in the chat. Um,
This is the dawning of
Oh,
the day.
Shabaka sent it to my Instagram. Let's see here.
So tonight we have a Cancerian moon. We'll go into Leo tomorrow, and over the weekend we'll have a Leo moon. That's
Oh
part
my
of
God, look at this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to
what?
cut you
You're
off.
fine.
Look at this gorgeous thing that Shabaka
Oh, I
made.
love it.
I
That
love
is
it.
beautiful.
How much is that? Jesus.
I don't have Instagram. How else can I get it?
You just need to sign up, honey.
Well,
You just go on your app. It Oh wow, that looks nice.
I love it. It's wonderful.
$160? I
And
bet that's like a little blanket. Like
different colors.
I like it a lot. Yeah, what colors does it come in? Um, Let us know.
Does it say there?
No, because this goes in a department store. Oh, geez.
I love it.
It's really nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you do really nice work there, honey.
So I don't know if we could do an exchange between email and PayPal, but I certainly would buy that from you.
I know, right? I'm like, what color you got? I got dibs on but it probably takes you a while to make that, I'm pretty sure. But let us know, Shabaka.
Lionmountainhealing@gmail.com.
Look, she's like, ah, yeah, that's actually pretty nice. I like
I'd
that.
like a black one or black with speckles in it or something.
Yeah, I like mohair. So like it's wool, cotton, and mohair mix. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. I'm so proud of you.
That's really nice work.
Good job, Chewbacca.
And if you have something in, I think that is gray, like or even khaki, but I probably like gray. Um, I have to go back to the store and see what else they had. Okay, yeah, just let us know and take pictures for us, please. Okay. Let's see what else. You feel better now. My fish needed to get a water change. Oh, you have a pet fish? Scorpio, I gotta keep moving, even if my hands hurt. Oh,
I bet after
Aquarius.
putting that scarf together, they really do.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you had a machine. Didn't you have like a machine, or was that just for the little hats that you're making? That's a light green with white. Oh, okay. I had to pee. Yeah, go pee, honey. Shoot. But yeah, you don't have to. Just whenever you have time, let us know. Um, Even like white, or well, no,
Oh,
white is
yeah,
dirty.
cream would be pretty.
Yeah, cream, like a light color, but I was just worried about like it getting dirty. I use the knitting loom with it. Oh, I like it, and I know that thing's gonna keep me warm. So,
I am so happy for you.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really nice work. So, okay. Does anybody else have questions for Sunny for today? Speak now or forever. Hold your pace.
Yeah, I'll put something together for Sagittarius new moon and we'll figure something out.
Mm.
You met a new guy.
Oh yeah.
I hope that doesn't keep you from knitting your scarves.
She's multitasking.
Yeah.
She's like doing a little bit of everything. What kind of good or bad will he bring in my life?
You want to pull a card?
Yeah. Let's
You
see
want a
here.
lover card? Are we talking about a lover? Just for you, Shabaka. I am going to pull out the special deck for lovers.
And I'm just going to pull from my OG tarot deck.
Okay. Okay, so Shabaka, new guy. That's what we're going to have on our mind, right?
Yeah.
Shabaka's new
What
guy.
will this new guy bring into her life? Like what is to be expected about this new guy?
So you really like him, huh? To be asking about it.
Mhm.
Love is in the air. That's what's going through my mind.
We're not talking about him, Shabaka. I'm talking about this new guy.
Yeah, no, I'm
We're
not
not
talking
talking
about
about the past. We're talking
no,
about
guys.
the new juice.
Nothing from the past. Only a new, bright, shiny future.
What's up with the new guy for Shabaka, spirit? Okay. Ooh, Queen of Wands.
This is getting down to the bone, Chewbacca. This is a new transformation.
Yeah, do you see this queen? Like she knows what she wants. She's like she's got that flair. Everybody's got eyes on her, and you need to like go through this change and transformation. Like,
And this
um,
is something like you've not had before.
right. And it's about like stepping into new territories. Are you passionate about this thing? I mean, it's gonna bring you happiness, but it's definitely I feel that it's going to offer some sort of change,
Transformation.
like a rebirth, like something. And I feel like it's positive.
And it changes how you look at relationship because the truth of the matter is whenever one ends, a new thing begins.
Hmm.
So
There you go, honey. Yeah, you the
cyclical,
boss, bitch.
cyclical nature of life, right? The life, death, life cycle of all things.
Yeah. So putting an end towards the plague.
Yes, no more plague.
Yeah. And looking towards the sunset.
Yes, good stuff.
And every little step goes a long way, right? According to Capricorn's reading. I think it was like take the initiative. Yeah, I think
She
that's what it was.
is Aquarius, isn't she? She about
No,
this.
she's a Capricorn.
Oh,
Her birthday is in December.
oh,
I think the 22nd, right? Shabaka, is your birthday the 22nd? Or, yep, get out more. I think it's the 22nd. Hmm. I don't know. My ass getting old. I can't remember everything. Yep, Friday in 3 weeks.
oh.
Yay! Yay!
So the solar return is when the sun returns to its original position at the moment you were born, and anything that has not worked out in the last year from December 22nd to December 22nd goes poof, and you get a clean slate and renewal to celebrate renewal and starting over. You're just getting started. That's awesome.
45 is a good age.
That is a very good age.
Yeah.
I was having the time of my life in my 40s. I don't know.
Um,
I don't know what happened in the 50s and 60s. Not so much.
it seems mundane in my mid 40s. I had more fun in my younger, obviously, but um, yeah, but I feel like it's a turning point. Oh my god.
Oh, there she is.
Yes, ma'am.
Luna.
Nina.
How's Luna like the cold weather?
She runs her ass back in. That's what she does. Like, it's too cold out here. She
Hey,
doesn't
thanks for the little jacket. I'm giving it to my friend that has the little tiny,
dog.
yeah, the little
Oh.
tiny dog.
Well, I didn't know if they had a girl or she had a girl or boy, but
She has both. She has one of each, but ironically, I have this little boy sweater that Mojo grew out of. So I'm going
ah,
to give her the little girl jacket you sent and the little boy sweater that doesn't fit Mojo anymore.
oh, okay. Well, then that's perfect.
Yes.
Look at this girl.
Pretty girl. Pretty girl.
Oh, anyway, yeah. Does anybody else have anything before we get off on these?
Yeah.
Mm,
Just keep it between the lines or not.
yeah,
Saturn would say keep it between the lines, and Mars would say not.
I know all that scattered energy. Um, you're working a bag with acrylic yarn. If it looks decent, I'll get hands on chunky merino and start a new project.
Love it.
Oh, I'm not really good with textiles, but I do know that you know how to do your thing. So,
And, that's what artists do, right? They're always evolving their art.
mm-hmm. No, it's really good. Like, I want to keep saying it, Shabaka, because it's true.
Yeah.
You
We're
know,
so happy for you.
seriously, it's the best Turk I've ever had in my life. Like, I love it.
Well, look, I guess we'll figure out something for the new moon in Sagittarius. And in the meantime, I really want to thank everyone for their time and energy this evening and have a great weekend and uh, don't get too far one way or the other, right?
Yeah, it looks like the 15th might be a good day. What do you think?
Okay, I can. That's fine. What is it?
Okay.
I need more to sell, especially if I start going to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, I guess you can do like your beanies, because those are kind of easy to manage or transport. Like the higher end stuff that you do, like that tube thing. That I mean, I would say that yes, you're available on the 22nd. You're not available. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, honey.
Well,
I think
let's.
the next one is the 26th, right? Then there will be a full moon on the 26th. So that would be we can do it on the 29th.
Are we doing the new moon on the 15th?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because that's like 2 weeks from now, but it's on the 12th.
That's okay.
So
We'll be getting into the feel of it a little better.
that's so strange. How is it like so fast in this month?
Well, we're late. We're already almost a
Oh
week
yeah,
into
that's
the full
right.
moon. Yeah. But we're not late. We're right on time.
Yeah, like last week was my son's birthday, guys, so that was the other reason why we weren't on.
We just needed to take a little bit of a moment.
Yeah, we worked too hard.
Time flies.
Yeah, so I guess we'll stick with the 15th, but if anything changes, then I guess just let me know.
Yeah. Happy
Okay.
birthday. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate this. I still have more work to do. It's a late night for me,
Mhm.
busy weekend, and
Yeah.
coming to the end of Medicare enrollment season, December 7th. So I've had like 8 weeks of lots of extra activity
Mhm.
that I'm
And
ready to move on
thank
from.
you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Liz, and thank you, Shabaka, for the birthday wishes.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and happy early birthday, Shabaka, but I'm pretty sure we're going to say it again.
Yes.
And Liz, I will get to your personal reading to you next week, just letting you know. Let's see what else. I think that's it.
I
So,
am going to say Saranara.
yes,
And
and
yes, and we will be in touch soon. Okay.
okay.
Good
All
night,
right. All
everybody.
right. Good night.
Bye.
All right. Bye.